Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna. For those of you who are new here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be doing day 2 of Poetspice's 12 Days of Christmas Cheer. And if that is of interest to you, please stay tuned. Okay, so we're going to be doing another section, day 2, and I'm going to choose another one of my pencil sets that is a little problematic, and when I show you, you'll hopefully understand why. I think we're going to do one of these top sections here. If you are new to this series, I did divide a page from Opal's Forest Girl number 3. That's what people generally call it, but it's Moments Wholly for Yourself. It is a Christmas page, so it does fit Poetspice's collab. For all of the people participating in the collab, definitely check out my description box below. And so over the course of the next 12 days, I will be filling in all of these boxes with the 12 different pencil sets that I have. If you are following along and you have this page, sweet. If you just want to divide a coloring page up into 12 and then just color a chunk of it with me every single day, cool. Like I mentioned, I will be using 12 different pencil sets because this is going to be a tester page for me, but I would recommend if you're doing this, unless you like the challenge of it, just stick to one medium, one pencil or one pencil set or one pen set or whatever, because it can probably prove a little problematic as we move down the line. Anyhoodle, the problematic pencil I'm going to be using today is my Hobeins. Now you're like, oh, you don't like Hobeins? I'm pretty indifferent. I don't love them. I don't hate them. However, I only have the pastel set. So that's where it's going to be problematic, not because of the way the pencils feel, but more so of the availability of colors that I have. As I mentioned in the first video, and I will continue to mention depending on where you are on your journey in this series with me, is I don't feel the need to complete pencil sets. I bought this one to test them. I feel they're on par to my Brutfunners and they're a lot cheaper. So that's all the Hobeins I'm ever going to own. As I talk about some of my other pencils, same thing. I don't feel the need to complete the set because they're not that outstanding to me. So we are going to have to diverge on the ceiling and the wall color because I don't have any dark browns or even a red or anything like that. So I think we're going to make the ceiling maybe blue. Or maybe we can get away with creams and pinks. So I was thinking making the ceiling green because I have some greens here, but then I don't want it to detract from the tree. With the windows, those are probably going to be blue. I'm not going to be penciling in the actual artwork you see there, so I don't want the walls to be blue. So I'm thinking oranges, creams, and pinks is the way for us to go. All right, so I'm going to take some of these out. Don't know if I'll be using all of these. And the reason I'm choosing the purple is I'm hoping if I need to get something a little darker, because again, these are lighter tones, I can do some color theory by combining these two and getting not necessarily something darker, but something more gray. All right, so we'll put the pencils to the side. And if this is your first video with me, I'm not swatching anything, I'm not testing anything. We're just going to put pencil to the page and hope for the best. So I'm thinking one of these two boxes would be the best because there's only the two elements. There's only the ceiling and there's only the back wall. This one has the element of the lantern, and I might want something darker there. So let's go in and put number 2, just so I can keep track of this, because again, I will write down my thoughts on how these pencils feel. I'm not going in with how they blend, how they layer. None of that is important to me. I need to know how they feel on the page so that when I do other pages in this book, I'll know which pencils to gravitate to, because I have my key here that tells me that information. All right, well, just like here, let's put our light color down. We do have a cream in this set, so let's just do everything in cream. Which actually pulls a lot more yellow than I would have thought. That's fine. I'm gonna miss that for a little while. Once it's down, it's actually waterproof since I'm using a Pigma Micron, but I don't know if it's fully dry yet, and if I can avoid smearing, I will. Okay. Not a huge fan that it goes all the way to the top, to the side, and to the bottom. Maybe it's because of the way I color, but I keep catching the top of the book. Okay. That should be dry. Well, considering they're a pastel pencil, I'm certainly getting a lot more payoff by way of color than I did with the Monts. Now we need to choose a direction. Let's do the lines in the purple, just to see how dark we can get this. And we've got pink, and we've got salmon pink. It looks orange to me. So let's see what happens when we blend these together. As I mentioned in that first video, I don't have access to natural light, and so the shadows are insane, and the lighting might be a bit wonky for you guys. I don't mind that, so I'm going to do that for all of these. And worst case scenario, if I forget, because I think for video 3, we might actually do something fun. I'll need to remember how I created this color, because I think, well, no, I have one more pencil set that I have. It's like 20-something pencils, but they are also skin tones, so that's going to prove problematic. Okay, so let's come in and do some light coloring at the top here. And down here as well. Just putting a little color on the page, not too much, but I don't need too much. I just really want to give it some definition. Okay, so let's go over with the orange. And as you can see, I'm not too concerned by staying in the line. It's sketchy as is already, so that's not a problem. These are quite pigmented considering they are pastels. I would certainly use these again in here. Still not tempted to buy more Hobeins, but I like how they feel on the page. These definitely feel waxier. They don't feel soft. They don't feel like a Prisma, but they definitely feel softer than the Mont. I'm not too familiar with them. I bought them because they were skin tones, and I'm always looking for a good skin tone pencil. But I have to say they feel pretty good, or the Hobeins feel pretty good. My Martes, they're just another brown set. I actually don't really consider them a good skin tone because they certainly have lighter, or they certainly have darker tones, but they don't have many lighter tones. Let's see what a pink does. Just to give some definition to the beams. Maybe I'll pull a green to layer and see if that gives us some good color. So yeah, let's put these beams in pink. And just based on color theory, if you've got pink in your face, you put some green color corrector on it, and it should sort of neutralize it, so that once you put your foundation on top of it, then you're working with a more even base. That's the only reason I know color theory, or I feel comfortable with it, is because of makeup application. Pre-pandemic, I wouldn't even walk out the house without some semblance of a face on it. Anytime I put on makeup these days, it's because I'm making a face forward video. Because I'm wearing my mask, so that's not really conducive to makeup. All right, so let me pull one of the greens out of the set. I'll be right back. All right, well, fingers crossed that this is going to work. There are two type of greens. So let's go for this ice green first, because we are certainly not going to get dark. But maybe we can get an interesting tone. And it'll be certainly interesting when we do the rest of the roof. They're definitely creamy, but they're not soft. Okay. Let's see if on this line we can put more green there. And this one actually has two lines. Not gonna lie, it's interesting as it is, but we're trying to get a muddied color. So let's do pink. Green and pink, right? Is what I was talking about. Okay, so I necessarily wouldn't say these are very blendable. I think they're more sitting on top of each other than blending into a color, or a different color. But it's definitely giving us a different effect. Yeah. And I don't want to press too hard because I'd like to do one more video after this. And it's about an hour after the first one that I filmed. because there was some noise outside. But there are other things I want to do today. I am bulk filming this. I think I mentioned it in that other video, just because I want to make sure that they're up on the scheduled days. Let's go back in this screen. And the wall, I think I'm going to leave that cream color because I'm anticipating that with my other sets, I'll be able to get something similar since it's going to be in a lot of the different boxes that we're going to do. That does not look too bad considering the colors that we have. Let's put some of this icy one at the top. And then we'll do one more pass through with this orangey salmon color. And I think we're gonna consider this done. I keep getting stuck on the top of the page. Okay, again, not super interesting coloring considering we're only doing that little box, but I think it's going to give us a good foundation. I actually don't know if the walls and the floors are going to match, but that's girl problem. That's not going to be our problem. So for number 2, I used my Hobeins, and I'd actually give that a 4. Because I do like how they lay on the page. I'm not one who's big on blending or layering anyway, but for just, 1 or 2 swipes of color, I think they pay off really well. They probably would have worked really well in here, but I want some of these elements to be really vibrant considering the floor and the ceiling is going to be quite light, and that just would not have worked. And with the Christmas tree, even in here, because I want the greenery to be quite vibrant. Yeah, so I had to really be strategic on where I'm going to be putting my pencils. All right, guys, well, that is the end of day 2. I'd love to know if you're following along and if you're using this page or what page you're using. If you have Instagram, go ahead and tag me on Instagram as you are making progress. It is Jojoza _Hanna, although the link is in the description box. It always is. And that's it for me for now. And as always, aloha.